71, passing all these cars.
So you'll notice, or maybe you won't because I didn't, but on this one, the Fridays with Frank graphic that comes up is on the side of the screen. If you look back to episode 32, Fridays with Frank is in the middle of the screen. So Sam told me that he specifically did that for this episode as to not block what was going on one side of the screen. So it just says Fridays with Frank, number 33 on the other side. I never would have noticed it. A little behind the scenes, that was specifically done by Sam on this one.
Get a good look. That guy right there.
On his brakes.
See your driver's license, please.
Yes, sir. Can I ask what you pull over for?
Absolutely. As soon as I see your driver's license, I will be very happy to tell you.
That's not how it works. Can you tell, first of all, what's your name and your badge number?
I'm sorry. I do this for a living. You don't. I tell you how this works. Let me see your driver's license or I'm going to pull you out of your car and arrest you for failing to provide ID.
I've asked a driver who I've legally stopped for his driver's license or ID. That's what Arizona law says. If you fail to provide ID after being stopped for a legal reason, which 26 miles an hour over the speed limit is a legal reason, you are required by Arizona law to provide a driver's license if you have it, or any sort of ID if you don't have a driver's license. If you don't do one of those two things, you can, and in this case he would have been taken into custody for that criminal offense. So this is what this driver thought he knew and what Arizona law says are not the same thing.
This is a legal request. I don't want to hear any other words out of your mouth except here's my driver's license. Please.
Oh, this guy. If you're watching this right now, you've probably already seen this episode. This is the most popular Fridays with Frank episode. It's the episode that we get the most hate about. Internet trolls love to email and blow up the sheriff's office inbox about this, about how I'm violating people's rights and all of this stuff. So this is probably the most controversial of all the Fridays with Frank.
Can you say it again?
Absolutely. I need your driver's license so I know who you are. I am not asking you. I am telling you. Give me your driver's license.
My name is...
I don't want your name. I want a physical ID as required by Arizona law.
I am asking you when I'm getting pulled over.
I will tell you as soon as I see your driver's license.
I will gladly give you my license.
Notice how that changes once he starts videoing himself. This episode is really long. It's actually over 8 minutes. Sam specifically made this video longer because he didn't cut out any of the pauses that he normally edits out, like where I'm standing there and I'm waiting for insurance. So all of that was added and kept into this episode, making it longer. But we wanted to show the totality of the contact so that there wasn't any part of me standing at the window of that car that was edited out. So it gives less for the trolls because we knew this was going to be controversial when we videoed it.
I get some identification of the reason why I'm getting pulled over. That's usually
all right. Well, I'm Deputy Sloup. I work for the Pinal County Sheriff's Office Traffic Unit. And the reason I stopped you is you're traveling 71 miles an hour in a posted 45-mile-per-hour zone. We also see registration and current proof insurance, please.
Can I do some more?
Unless it's going to magically appear in your hands, you would have to, right?
It's a little 45-mile-per-hour sign there. I like that.
All of your information still current? Still living on Mesa?
I don't answer any questions.
Okay.
And I had to get on my phone.
You're the one who decided it needed to be recording, so you could also use it to provide current proof insurance.
It's a great example of printing out. The reason why we need to print out our insurance cards. I get it. It's on your phone. It's super easy. It's convenient. But if you feel the overwhelming need to video a law enforcement officer while they're having contact with you at their window, and then you complain that you have to stop your video so that you can get your insurance off of your phone as required by Arizona law, the simple way for all you trolls out there, just print out your insurance card and put it in your glove box like we had to do before we had cell phones. Then you could take it out, you could hand it to the law enforcement officer, meeting the requirement for Arizona law, and you can continue to exercise whatever right that you think you're exercising by videoing someone who's probably already being videoed. There goes one of my partners.
1710. He wants me to update that.
You're required to provide it in a amount of time that would be...
Right, it's coming up right now.
Okay.
It's giving me 15 seconds.
So much harder than it has to be.
So while I'm sitting here and I am a public servant, is there any other questions I can answer for you, reference our contact? Okay, just want to make sure.
It's more than 15 seconds.
All right, well, you keep working on that. There's no reason to be confrontational like that. There was no part of my contact with him was confrontational. Super simple and cordial, and he just, for some reason, just can't seem to understand that there's a sequence of events that transpires here in Pinal County. And if he doesn't like that, maybe he needs to move back to Mesa. As soon as he recorded me, and I asked him, hey, I need your driver's license, he's like, I'd be happy to give it to you. But before that, when he wasn't recording me, he absolutely wouldn't. So it's that's why you can't believe everything that you see online, is because there was that whole entire contact that happened, and then he starts to record, and all of a sudden he's just the nicest guy, and I'm this big mean guy that's just demanding stuff. I would imagine he will interpret the fact that he's getting a ticket as a result of his terrible attitude, when really it's just the fact that he is just violating Arizona motor vehicle law. So in case you're wondering what 71 miles an hour at 1,065 feet looks like on a laser, that's what it is.
You could actually see the back of the laser that shows the speed. Whether I have Sam there or not, I have the ability to take a picture of that and attach it directly to the citation. I take a picture of my radar when I lock a speed in on radar, and I do the same thing on LiDAR. Now, I can't print that out and give it to the person like this guy is eventually going to request, but what I can do is bring that up in court and show that as proof of the violation at time if this should go to trial.
And that was his speed. So after I locked him in on this, I watched him drive past me, never lost sight of him, pulled in right behind him. So I'm sure this is the type of guy that wants to find some sort of, I don't know, something to fight in this. All right, kind sir. Have a contact phone number for you with an area code first, please. Sure, absolutely. Okay. Well, all the
Supervisor?
No.
This guy asked for my manager. Like I'm going to get on the phone and have him race right there. My boss has better things to do than deal with this guy. So I said no. Directly after the stop, I ended up going to lunch. It was my last stop of the morning. So I go to lunch and sat next to my boss, and I was like, hey, I just had a stop, and this guy asked for you for no reason to come out there. And my boss was like, yeah, I wasn't going to come out there. So I talked to my boss's boss, eventually my boss's boss's boss, all the way up to the number 1, number 2, and number 3 in the sheriff's office, all watched this video. And not one single person had an issue with it. The county attorney's office for Pinal County watched this video and didn't have any issue with anything. So when you see other videos of how I am there just violating people's rights, no one in Pinal County or the Pinal County Attorney's Office or the Pinal County Sheriff's Office agrees with internet trolls that say that I violated anyone's rights. This stop is perfectly within the confines as set forth by Arizona revised statutes, which is Arizona law. And yeah, they're in the valley of wrong.
No, you can contact one by phone.
But if I'm requesting a supervisor, you deny it?
I can give you the contact phone number for the sheriff's office. Absolutely. It's area code 520.
1 out of 9.
Yep.
Do you normally, just a couple questions for you, do you normally threaten to put people out of the car just for them asking why they got pulled over?
100% when they refuse to provide identification like you did.
But isn't that a secondary offense? Arizona's not a stop and ID state.
Here he says that Arizona is not a stop and ID state, and that is correct. I can't, if you're walking down the sidewalk, I can't just walk up to you and say, hey citizen, I need your driver's license. If you haven't committed any crime, jaywalking or any sort of pedestrian hitchhiking, anything, you haven't violated any law, I can't just randomly walk up to you and ask you to ID yourself. He is absolutely correct. However, as soon as you get in a car and you are driving a vehicle and you commit a violation, you have to ID yourself. So people like him like to take little snippets of the law and try to extrapolate it out into everything. And that's just not the way it works. Again, I'm on the mountain of right. He's in the valley of wrong.
Like I asked you why I was being pulled over.
That's correct.
And you didn't want to tell me until I use it as a predecessor.
That's correct, because I need to know who I'm talking to first.
He's talking about how I have to tell him and that it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment that I need to tell him why. That's not correct. It's not true. I'm on our SWAT team. We serve warrants all the time for all sorts of stuff. We serve warrants for dope. We serve warrants for ICAC, for all sorts of stuff, all sorts of bad criminal stuff. When we're pulling people out of someone's house with a valid arrest warrant, we're not telling them or showing them a warrant and saying, hey, come on out, here's the warrant. Those people are taken out. There's a bear cat in their front yard. They're taken into custody, and then detectives provide all that stuff at a later time. Traffic stops are the same way. I'm not going to provide you anything on the traffic stop. You just need to ask for it later in the court. We don't hold court on the side of the road.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
Per civil rights and laws, and unless I am being arrested, or unless I'm being
failing to provide evidence of identity is a criminal offense.
No, it's a secondary offense.
Doesn't matter.
It is.
It's an offense.
It doesn't. Officer Sloup, if you will let me speak, and then I'll let you speak. Is that all right?
No.
You don't want to let me speak?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not here for a back and forth. This isn't I talk and you talk. It is, absolutely.
Normally, per the civil rights.
The civil rights.
This has nothing to do with civil rights.
People have taken this video and put it all over the internet. All sorts of internet trolls on whatever platform that you watch your troll videos have taken this, and different experts are like, well, he violated this law and he violated that law and he violated this guy's rights. They're wrong. Every single one of them is wrong. And now I get my chance to actually kind of say something off duty and set those people right.
Fourth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, which you hold an oath to uphold, I know it's very, very disappointing because I like to follow the rules too.
Obviously you don't, because you're speeding.
However,
well, you like to follow rules except for speed limits that you don't like to follow.
It's objective or subjective. That's the cursor. Okay, so if
we want to play word games, we can play word games here.
We can play word games as long as you want.
Absolutely.
Per the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, to secure in my own rights to hold my identity, unless, especially in a state that's not a stop and ID state, aren't you supposed to tell me why you're pulling me over?
Absolutely. There is absolutely no requirement for me to tell you. I told you as a common courtesy because it's what I normally do during traffic stops.
I know, but it's what you normally do. That's not what the law says you do.
It is not a law.
It is. It's not a stop and ID state.
It's not a law.
Okay. We have a difference.
We can agree to. And you are certainly going to get one. So, all the information up the top is yours. Vehicle's information's here. It says today at 10:05, you're 71 and a posted 45.
This citation was the catalyst for some change within the sheriff's office. Where the actual offense took place was right on the border of Maricopa County and Pinal County. But the offense took place in Maricopa County, so I wrote this citation into the appropriate Maricopa County court. It's not a court that I write into a lot, and this was at the very early on into us using a new system called TRAX, which is an electronic ticketing system, and it electronically sends the tickets to each court jurisdiction that we write a citation into. So there's no one bringing a stack of citations to the court. They are automatically, electronically at midnight sent to each court to a database, and then the court retrieves them the following work morning. So the times of like citations being brought to courts within Pinal County is over because we have this system in place.
Now RMP stands for reasonable and prudent, and that's what the speed limit is. And you're 71 miles an hour and a posted 45. Got you on laser, the most accurate of all speed detection devices.
Do you have a printout?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a printout or a screenshot?
No. I have a screenshot, yes.
Can I have that?
You cannot.
Okay.
because I have no way to print it out in my car. So, the direction you're facing right now is eastbound in the number 1 lane. State Route 24 at Meridian was the closest intersection. Your citation is for speed greater than reasonable and prudent. You're cited into the Santan Justice Court, which is located up in Chandler. You have a court date, only if you wish to appear, on the first day of November at 9 o'clock in the morning. If not, your phone number right here leads you to the court. Knowledgeable court staff there will be able to answer any questions you have, including giving you any sort of information on traffic school. This right here is the driver's license, the registration to which you provided, and an exact carbon copy of the citation. All right. Any further questions I can answer for you today, sir? All right. And just so you know, my sergeant is Sergeant Erickson. He's the person that you're going to... Thanks for putting your window up. They say you don't want to talk to me anymore. I really hope that this goes to court.
So he shows up on his assigned court date. He goes to the court. He brings his citation, and the court has no record of a citation from me on my side. He brings it in front of the judge. The judge says, hey, we don't have any record of this. I dismiss your citation. So ultimately, this guy got off on this speeding citation. The court called the sheriff's office and gave me the number. So eventually me and the court staff spoke. And this was the catalyst of change in, we didn't know it, but Pinal County Sheriff's Office citations weren't going to courts outside of Pinal County. If you're an officer anywhere in the state of Arizona, you're an officer everywhere in the state of Arizona. So very often, deputies from the Pinal County Sheriff's Office would write citations into Pima County to the south, into Maricopa County to the north, and into Gila County to the east. And these citations weren't being sent to the courts, and we had no way of knowing. So with this guy going in and making a big deal in the court, we were able to fix this problem, and now our citations go everywhere, and that is all up to this guy. It is because of him. So, I mean, did he get off on this? Yeah, he did. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't. I mean, it's no one's fault. It was a new system, and there was a glitch in that system, and since this stop, that glitch has been fixed. So now I've testified in courts all over Maricopa County because I write a lot of tickets there, and now I know 100% that our citations are getting there also.
I hope with every fiber of my being that I get to go and see him again, because there's not a judge anywhere in the state of Arizona that would entertain that tomfoolery that just happened there.